You finally launched a Performance Max campaign. After watching a bunch of videos and tutorials, you finally hit the publish button. You're about to celebrate, but it's a couple hours in and you're not getting any clicks. You wait until the morning, but still nothing. Maybe it'll take another day, you think, but you're still hearing crickets. Before you throw your laptop out the window and start cursing at Google that you wasted all of that setup time, we're going to review the timeline for a Performance Max campaign after launch. And I'm going to share with you some of the top reasons why you might not be receiving any clicks, and I'm even going to help you troubleshoot. If we haven't met yet, my name is Scott Redgate. I've been in digital marketing for over 12 years. I'm an online marketing coach, and my goal is to help you make more and spend less with your digital marketing efforts. Make sure to grab my free PPC cost-cutting cheat sheet, and let's dive in. Okay, so let's cut right to the chase. Here is the timeline for a Performance Max campaign right after launch. It takes 24 to 48 hours for newly created or edited ads to be reviewed by Google to see if they meet Google's policy requirements. Once reviewed, it can take 1 to 2 weeks to allow the systems to ramp up and start performing towards your set goal. Something to note, whenever you make a big change inside of Performance Max, like altering one of the settings, you may see some of the volatile activity while it learns again. With this timeline in mind, let's say, for example, your budget for a Performance Max campaign is $500 a day, and you set it to maximize conversion value bidding with no target return on ad spend set. You launch the campaign and spend might be $0 for the first day or two while the ads get approved. Then, over the next 2 weeks, you see something like this. Your campaign might start spending $50 for a couple of days, and then it increases to $250 after 1 week, then $300 a couple of days after that. And then it starts to spend your full budget with ease. Why is it taking so long? Why doesn't it spend your full budget on day one? Well, simply put, Performance Max leverages automation, and it takes time for the system to learn who your customers are and how it should best target them. Now that we understand the timeline for Performance Max, let's review several reasons why your campaign might be stuck in the mud at the start so that you can fix it and start to see the results that your business has been hoping for. I know how frustrating it can be to feel like you followed all the best practices in setting up a Google Ads campaign like Performance Max and hitting the publish button only to be greeted by crickets over the next couple of weeks. So today I want to talk to you about why your Performance Max campaign might be stuck in the mud. And I'm even going to give you some troubleshooting tips that you can do to help speed things up. The first reason why your Performance Max campaign might be stuck in the mud is you could have disapproved assets. So as you were creating your Performance Max campaign, you went in and you uploaded your images, you uploaded description, headline, logos, videos, etc. And to your view, they might be perfectly fine. But the way Google and Google Ads reviews assets is it's automated. Typically, they don't have someone sitting behind a computer that's reading or looking at these images and hitting an approve or disapprove button. And so there's automation baked in. And so I've seen a lot of times where maybe your description included one of the words that Google automatically flags. And many times in this situation, that particular asset, like a description, would be disapproved. And so let's say for Performance Max, you had 3 headlines that you created. Now, if 2 of those headlines contain words that are flagged by Google systems and those assets are disapproved, that leaves you with 1 headline remaining. And based on the different formats that Performance Max shows your ad in across all of their different placements, they might require more than 1 asset to be able to show in one of those locations. So if you don't have a healthy combination of assets, you might be limiting yourself to where your ads can actually show. And the whole benefit of Performance Max is it can show across all of Google's platforms like Maps, Discovery, Search, Shopping, Video. And so if you're limiting your assets, you might not be able to show across all of those placements. The next reason why your Performance Max campaign might be slow to start is, quite frankly, you have a low budget, too low of a budget, and you could have strict performance targets like target CPA or target return on ad spend enabled at the beginning that are causing the system not to be able to go out there and learn and grow. And so the easiest way to explain it is this. Let's say, for example, it takes you $50 in ad spend on average to get one potential customer to fill out a lead form or a contact us form on your website that you have marked as a conversion inside of Performance Max. So if your Performance Max budget was only $10 per day, simple math here, that would mean it takes 5 whole days for you to get one single conversion inside of Performance Max. And since Performance Max, if you've watched some of my other videos on the topic, it's heavily automated, but it also requires some ability to learn. And in that example, that $10 a day budget, when it takes $50 to actually get someone to fill out your lead form, the system's going to have a hard time performing well and scaling your spend to actually spend your budget if it's set that low. I understand the other side of this equation, though, where you don't want to be funding Google's learning of your website. And so you have to find a healthy balance. You don't have a budget that's too high that the system just wastes way too much money in the beginning, but it's able to learn quicker. But also don't have a budget that's too small that restricts the system from being able to learn who your ideal audience is. The next one is a no-brainer, but it happens all the time. And this is having bad conversion data coming in to Performance Max. Performance Max uses automated bidding to optimize towards your conversions. But if you don't have any conversions that are accurately being thrown into the system, Performance Max has nothing to optimize for. I know it can be a headache, but one of the very first things that you should do when launching a Performance Max campaign is making sure that the conversions that are coming in are accurate. If you're not able to get conversions to successfully come into Google Ads, it is definitely worth the time and energy to learn or even seek outside help like a third party to help if Performance Max is in your long-term vision for how you want to drive conversions for your business. Number 4, the next reason why your Performance Max campaign might be slow to start is you simply have too narrow of targeting for the system to be able to learn and optimize itself. So let's say, for example, you have a small business and you're in a small town and you do radius targeting around your business to find potential customers in Performance Max. Well, if the city has too low of a population, it's going to prevent Performance Max from being able to be served. You have to find a healthy balance where you're not targeting people that are not in your target market, but you're also not targeting such a narrow area that the system's not able to learn. Number 5, the next reason why your Performance Max campaign might be slow is because your ad stink. As Google calls it, you might have low creative asset coverage and diversity, which is also known as ad strength. So if you were a customer and you were seeing the images or you were seeing the text that you were writing for your ads, is it worthy of being clicked on? Now, Google does provide some indicators inside of Performance Max to let you know if they feel like it's good assets or not. But really take a look at your ads and think, hey, if I was out there on the internet and I was seeing this description, does it get my point across for my business for how I can help them accomplish some type of goal? Or if you have a product or service, is it helping them understand how this product or service can better their lives? If you need some help with this, take a look at my video on how to create better headlines, and then I'll go into some of the other characteristics of what makes a good ad. And the last reason why your Performance Max campaign might be slow is because you have final URL expansion off. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. What final URL expansion is Google will essentially scan your website pages and look to find pages that it can serve as the final URL for the advertisements with Performance Max. And so if you have final URL expansion off, the only URL that Google will send traffic to is the ones that you provided. But if you have final URL expansion turned on, it essentially multiplies the number of landing pages that Google can send traffic to. And they essentially scan those pages to see, hey, what other search terms or what other keywords can we drive traffic from the search page to this particular landing page. So some of the pros and cons of this, some of the pros include you're going to be more likely to spend your budget. If you have final URL expansion turned on, typically Performance Max is quicker to start spending and receiving clicks. But the con for it is you might have pages on your website that are not aligned with the purchase journey or the conversion journey for your customer. And so let's say, for example, you have a hours page on your website. And Performance Max in this situation, they might actually start showing your advertisement for random searches on Google about hours or business hours, just in general, not specific to your business. And so the con behind it is you can waste some money if you're not active in viewing the landing pages that Google is sending traffic to. All right, so in summary, the reasons why your Performance Max campaign might be slow to start, it could be because of disapproved ads. It could be because of a low budget or strict performance targets. You could also have faulty conversion tracking set up. Your targeting might be too narrow. Candidly, your ads might stink. Or you might have final URL expansion off, which for lead gen websites can really be restrictive to spend the full budget. I hope this video was helpful for you, and it would mean so much to me if you could do me a favor. If you could like this video and subscribe to my channel, that will help me with the YouTube algorithm so that I can keep creating content just like this. Thank you so much. Take care.